What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in and talk about new legendary weapons in Black Armory. Essentially I wanted to put together a bit of a loot table for all of the legendary weapon drops, where they actually come from, as well as new perks and mods in the game. And we will cover forge weapons in this video, as well as new vendor weapons. We're going to talk about all of the available perk rolls on Black Armory weapons, since we now can see a lot of these in the database. I know Black Armory has been out for a few weeks, but we now have a pretty full picture of these weapons, the available bonuses, and the best things to actually roll out on them. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, but now let's get straight into it. So of course there are plenty of new guns inside of Black Armory, some pretty cool ones that folks have been going after. I wanted this video to be a bit of a guide for the weapons inside of this update. So first up, before we talk about weapons, there are some new perks which have been added and can now randomly roll on a bunch of different guns. So we've got Feeding Frenzy, kills with this weapon increase reload speed for a short time. Mulligan, where missing a shot has a chance to return ammo directly to the magazine. Air Assault, where you gain increased handling while airborne. We do have Shield Disorient as well, where energy matched shield explosions disorient nearby combatants. So where can some of these bonuses actually roll out? Well, let's talk about forge weapons first. So these are the main themed weapons inside of Black Armory that you can collect from Ada 1. Of course, she does have a different rotation every week of available weapon frames that you can forge. So let's break down that loot table. We have the Blast Furnace, of course, Aggressive Burst. This is a hard-hitting 4-burst fire pulse rifle. There are very few pulse rifles of this type in the game, and this is pretty much the best one inside of this class. Very solid in PvP, but also pretty good for PvE content. And in terms of magazine bonuses, generally, the best ones on this weapon are going to be accurized rounds, which of course increases range, as well as steady rounds, which increases stability. But in terms of trait slot bonuses, we've got 2 slots. The first one is capable of rolling Outlaw, Feeding Frenzy, Zen Moment, Air Assault, Quick Draw, or Snapshot Sights. The second trait slot is able to roll Headseeker, Kill Clip, Rampage, High Impact Reserves, Ambitious Assassin, and Slide Shot. So in that first slot, you've got some really good reload bonuses, Outlaw as well as Feeding Frenzy. Feeding Frenzy tends to be the favorite on this one because there essentially isn't much in that reload speed, and Feeding Frenzy will proc anytime that you get any type of kill, but also these weapons do see a lot of recoil, so Zen Moment is a pretty good first slot bonus as well. The top 3 in the second slot though will include Kill Clip, Rampage, and Headseeker. Kill Clip, Rampage, both of them are going to give you a substantial damage boost after you make a kill. With the base damage of this weapon, combined with some of these perks, it is a really nasty one. Next though, let's mention the Kindled Orchid. Of course, this is the hand cannon. This is an energy hand cannon in the adaptive frame archetype, so it's 140 RPM, which is a really good class of weapon. Now for magazines, the top bonuses pretty much are going to comprise of accurized rounds, drop a mag, flared magwell, or extended mag. But then of course we have our 2 trait slots. So first slot can get Outlaw, Kill Clip, Rangefinder, Triple Tap, Quick Draw, Surrounded, and Shield Disorient. When it comes to that second slot, we're able to get Rapid Hit, Rampage, Ambitious Assassin, Explosive Payload, Threat Detector, or Disruption Break. Now there are a lot of good bonuses right here. Of course, Outlaw is good for fast reloads. You've got damage bonuses like Kill Clip or Surrounded. Surrounded can actually be a pretty interesting one. There's quite a lot that you can do with this hand cannon, and you can combine reload or ammo bonuses in the first slot with things like Rampage, Ambitious Assassin, or Explosive Payload. It's going to be pretty nice for PvE considering this is an energy weapon. But then we get the Spiteful Fang. This is a kinetic bow, also comes from the Forge in the lightweight frame class, and we've got Rangefinder, Archer's Tempo, Moving Target, Air Assault, Sneak Bow, and Snapshot Sights in that first column. The second column can get Explosive Head, Rampage, Threat Detector, Hipfire Grip, or Quick Draw. So in the first slot, Snapshot Sights is a pretty interesting one, as well as Moving Target, which is actually a pretty interesting bonus for a bow. Of course, the premier bonuses in that second slot would be Rampage or Explosive Head, depending on your preference. But then we get the Ringing Nail Auto Rifle. Now this is another energy weapon, a precision frame auto rifle, and your top mag bonuses would include high caliber rounds, armor piercing rounds, ricochet rounds, extended mag, or flared magwell. The first trait slot can get Zen Moment. We've also got Dragonfly, which is pretty nice, Ambitious Assassin, Shield Disorient, Under Pressure, or Quick Draw. Second column can get great damage bonuses, so we've got Kill Clip, Rampage, High Impact Reserves, Tap the Trigger, Disruption Break, or Mulligan. So in that first slot, for me, Zen Moment would be a pretty good one. Of course, it'll help with stability with sustained fire. Also though, Dragonfly, pretty unique bonus for an auto rifle, as well as Ambitious Assassin, which is going to be pretty nice for increasing that mag size. And then honestly, for this weapon, I would focus on those damage bonuses, so especially Kill Clip and Rampage, but also High Impact Reserves isn't bad here, and of course you can go for any of the other bonuses depending on your preference. Now, Strykers Sure Hand has been a pretty interesting one. This actually isn't visible inside of the database still, so it is classified. Nightshade. But from looking at a bunch of different roles, the main things you'll be able to roll out in the 2 trait slots would include Assassin's Blade, Tireless Blade, and Relentless Strikes in the first slot. And then we've got Surrounded, which is a unique bonus to any sword. So Striker's Sure Hand is the only sword that can get this bonus, but you also can get Whirlwind Blade. Now Assassin's Blade is the favourite in the first trait slot because skills will boost movement speed and increase damage. And in the second slot, Surrounded is the very popular bonus. Combined with Assassin's Blade, Surrounded, and even the Surrounded spec mod, this sword is going to offer you some of the most significant damage that you'll see from a sword in the game. In fact, for Destiny 2, it pretty much is the best DPS sword. Now, I've got just a couple of weapons which still belong to the Forge, so the Tatara Gaze. This is the aggressive frame sniper. It's in that energy slot, so it's pretty nice. Top magazine bonuses for this would include Appended Mag, Alloy Magazine, Flared Magwell, and Tactical Mag. But trait slots on this one are pretty interesting. So the first one can get Outlaw, Rangefinder, Rapid Hit, Shield Disorient, Quick Draw, or Snapshot Sights. And the second one comes with Rampage, Kill Clip, Dragonfly, Opening Shot, Genesis, or Box Breathing. So a lot of good bonuses on this one. Of course, you've got Quick Draw and Snapshot in that first column, and you can opt for Reload with things like Outlaw, or go for Rapid Hit, which actually probably isn't a bad idea here. One of the favourite things about this sniper is its ability to roll Kill Clip, and this can one-shot to the body inside of PvP, so that's definitely really nice. But also Rampage isn't bad, Opening Shot's pretty good as well, and Box Breathing, of course, carries a lot of value in PvE content. Finally, we have the Hammerhead. Really fantastic machine gun, and it's one of the only really farmable machine guns that we've got in the game, so you can get some godly rolls on this. For magazine bonuses, I'd be looking at Extended Mag, Ricochet rounds, High Caliber rounds, or Flared Magwell, but those trait slots can get Feeding Frenzy, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Tap the Trigger, Threat Detector, Quick Draw, and Shield Disorient, of course in the first slot, but the second slot is capable of rolling Surrounded, Rampage, Ambitious Assassin, High Impact Reserves, Genesis, and Mulligan. So loads of really nice bonuses. In that first slot, honestly, I think Feeding Frenzy is all around the best bonus, whether it's PvP or PvE. You always want to get those fast reloads when you can. Tap the Trigger, though, is not going to be a bad bonus, especially for PvP content, where you really want to land those shots. But really, anything is an option depending on what you like to use. Surrounded is very strong, of course. Rampage is pretty fantastic for machine guns. I found that Mulligan could be a little bit hit and miss on this one personally, but those would be the Forge weapons that we can roll out right now. And once again, you can collect any of those from Ada's weapon frames. There are other Forge themed weapons though that belong to Black Armory, and these ones come exclusively from the raid. So we have the No Feelings, this is the Scout Rifle. Now when it comes to these ones, they're also capable of rolling with a Curated roll. So No Feelings will get Appended Mag, Full Auto Trigger System, and Zen Moment. That is for the Curated roll, but in the first slot you can also roll Outlaw, Rapid Hit, Triple Tap, Ambitious Assassin, or Mulligan, and the second slot can get Explosive Payload, Rampage, Kill Clip, Moving Target, or Box Breathing. Now straight to the second slot for this one, it really does come down to preference. Rampage and Kill Clip, of course, are great bonuses in a lot of different places. Box Breathing is an interesting one. Definitely not worth it for PvP in my opinion, because you can 3-tap with this archetype anyway right now. But in PvE, it actually might not be too bad. Certain encounters in the raid could definitely benefit from a weapon like this, but it is a little bit niche. One that's much more exciting though would be the threat level shotgun. The new Ikelos shotgun, in that it can actually roll Trench Barrel. A very strong bonus of course, but this shotgun is kinetic. It is in the rapid fire frame class though. The Curated roll comes with Barrel Shroud, Light Mag, Trench Barrel, and Grave Robber. But the first slot is also capable of Rampage, Moving Target, Slide Shot, Field Prep, and Surrounded. The second slot can get Snapshot Sights, Threat Detector, Quick Draw, Genesis, and Air Assault. Obviously, if you decide to go with the Trench Barrel roll, if you get one, then it's very, very good. The next best thing, though, would be Surrounded. In fact, this can be a little bit better in certain situations. Surrounded with a Surrounded spec mod can actually produce more damage than Trench Barrel, and that particular roll would be really good for clearing ads, especially in Forges. Anywhere where you've got a ton of stuff pouring out at the same time, you're going to get loads of benefit from that Surrounded mod. Despite this weapon being kinetic, Genesis does actually work, so it will reload a magazine when you break a shield, but also Grave Robber actually isn't a bad bonus, especially with Trench Barrel because you'll be meleeing plenty of stuff. Tempered Dynamo is the raid's fusion rifle. It's a precision frame fusion. The Curated roll consists of Particle Repeater, Backup Plan, and Rampage, so pretty tasty, but the first trait slot can roll Snapshot, Shield Disorient, Air Assault, Threat Detector, and Opening Shot. And then we've got Rampage, Kill Clip, High Impact Reserves, Auto-Loading Holster, Disruption Break, and Grave Robber in that second trade slot. So of course, Backup Plan, very nice for PvP content, but also generally useful. Shield Disorient, actually not going to be a bad bonus for PvE, and Opening Shot is very strong for PvP as well on a fusion. In the second slot, really, we've got loads of damage bonuses. As always, they're going to be pretty appealing. The Bellowing Giant is the raid's rocket launcher, an adaptive frame launcher. The Curated roll comes out pretty nicely. You've got Countermass, Impact Casing, tracking, and cluster bombs. Honestly, that's really going to be about the best roll that you'd want on this thing, but the trait slots do include Quick Draw, Genesis, Field Prep, Rangefinder, and the second one can get Ambitious Assassin, Auto-Loading Holster, Moving Target, and Threat Detector. But those aren't all of the new legendary weapons available right now, so we do have a Nightshade. This is returned to Year 2, and is also capable of rolling with random perks. There will actually be a quest to complete a series of bounties for Zavala. When you complete this, you will get a specific roll of Nightshade, but after that, it will actually be capable to drop with a bunch of random rolls. And those include Outlaw, Rangefinder, Firmly Planted, Grave Robber, Under Pressure, Moving Target, and Ambitious Assassin in the first slot, but the second slot can get Rampage, Kill Clip, High Impact Reserves, Full Auto Trigger System, Snapshot, Headseeker, or Zen Moment. So there are some pretty nice rolls inside of there for both PvE and PvP content, but then Shaxx does have the Wishbringer. So the new PvP shotgun, this one can drop randomly at any time, but you can also pick one up from him. The trait slots do include Slide Shot, Threat Detector, Field Prep, Pulse Monitor, Hipfire Grip, and Grave Robber, and the second slot can get Rampage, Snapshot Sights, Moving Target, Auto-Loading Holster, and Opening Shot. So generally some pretty decent rolls for PvP and PvE content. The Persuader has also returned from Year 1 for the Vanguard. This can drop randomly in Vanguard packages. It is a rapid-fire frame sniper, but the first slot would include Hipfire Grip, Firmly Planted, Snapshot Sights, Rapid Hit, Genesis, and Field Prep. The second slot is able to get Triple Tap, Ambitious Assassin, Explosive Payload, Rampage, Outlaw, or Moving Target. Does Not Compute is also dropping in the game once again, back in Year 2 with random rolls. It is a high impact scout rifle, and first trait slot would include Hipfire Grip, Grave Robber, Auto-Loading Holster, Zen Moment, Moving Target, Triple Tap, and High Impact Reserves, with the second slot including Explosive Payload, Rangefinder, Threat Detector, Opening Shot, Outlaw, Rampage, and Kill Clip. There are some world legendary weapons, and of course these are the Black Armory themed Year 1 weapons which have returned to the game. These drop randomly at the end of Forges and are pretty common, so I'm sure you've probably seen plenty of them already, but there are 2 Iron Banner weapons for this season. Firstly, Krimel's Dagger, of course, an aggressive frame hand cannon back from Year 1, and trait slots wise it can get Moving Target, Outlaw, Auto-Loading Holster, Rangefinder, Threat Detector, Triple Tap, and Snapshot Sights, and then that second slot is able to get Timed Payload, Kill Clip, Field Prep, Hipfire Grip, Zen Moment, and Opening Shot, as well as Explosive Payload. So it certainly comes with some pretty cool options that weren't there in Year 1, of course. Although I know not everyone is a fan of this season's weapons, I completely understand that. Of course, Hero's Burden has also come back, and this is an adaptive frame SMG. When this drops, you can randomly get Pulse Monitor, Under Pressure, Slideways, Field Prep, Zen Moment, Snapshot Sights, or Moving Target, and that's followed by Dynamic Sway Reduction, Kill Clip, High Impact Reserves, Grave Robber, Tap the Trigger, Genesis, and Threat Detector. And those are all of the legendary weapons in Black Armory, which are able to roll with random perks, guys. So like I said, I just wanted to round this up in one video, now that we actually have all of the information on these guns. So I hope the video has been useful. If you've picked up any awesome rolls of any of these weapons, let us know down below in the comment section what you've been using. But if you have found this video useful, guys, a like is very much appreciated down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see more D2 content. For now though, as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.